I've been a bit naughty because the bike I chose to take on my Mallorca holiday was the Look RS Blade. I couldn't help it. It was just there. I was going to ride it around like a loon. I don't care if it breaks me. I've got this opportunity to take it. And that's how it went, really. It was, I know it's a stupid decision. I know it's going to hurt me by day 4. But wouldn't you if you had the chance? Also, got the Wahoo Roam. The first time I've really got to grips with a Wahoo, and I really like this for navigation. It's missing a few features for techie stuff that I'm missing from a Garmin, but in terms of navigating, I do think this is a superior unit to the Garmin. I'm going to do some more stuff on this, probably even a proper Garmin versus Wahoo feature one day. This is day 2 so far, about 200 and something kilometers into the holiday. So why did I bring the Blade? It's a bit of a last minute decision, definitely thinking with my heart over my head. I just thought, well, why the hell not? I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? But a couple of things have really struck me about this bike and riding it in the sunshine. I haven't really ridden this bike since like November, because British winter and just, why would you take a £10,000 bike out in British winter? Is ridiculous. But one thing I've really come to admire about this bike is this handlebar setup. I know I've waxed lyrical about it, but it is without doubt the most robust, sort of steadfast handlebar I've seen out here and felt. It's just, you can just lean in it, put all your weight into it, it just doesn't move, and that's so confidence inspiring. If you've ever been out to Mallorca before, you'll know that you're surrounded by Pinarello dogmas and specialised tarmacs and everything else, and so far this is the only Look RS Blade that I've seen on the island, and it's been getting a hell of a lot of attention. In fact, it's sometimes a little bit embarrassing. A really fast team of French riders came past me and look at the new Blade. I'm like, yeah, nice bike, and they were all lovely on some hired canyons or something, but they really recognised it, and that was quite cool. A few people like going, oh, nice. Park it up at a cafe actually, and there's always someone just like having a little eye around it. It's dead interesting. I'm liking the actual performance of it. I don't know if you can tell the difference between a Madone and an SL8 or anything. The one thing that does strike me though are these Corima wheels. I really want to see if I can lend a set of these to Peak Talk or something, because I don't think they're talked about enough, and the quality of them is exceptional. Now, they ride beautifully smooth, but they do have a slightly thinner profile, which means that on a really windy crosswind, they do just catch the wind a little bit more than my fast forwards, even though my fast forwards are deeper. I think that's that little vortex that comes off that leading edge. That's the only time I've really felt it. Other than that, that foam core lining, it's a beautifully smooth ride. I just don't think these wheels get talked about enough. Maybe we should dig into them a little bit more. Day 3 of Mallorcan holiday, and just dive into a cafe because this is supposedly light rain. The roads are rivers. Time for cake. You okay, Sal?
0.2 mil of rain.
0.2 mil of rain.
It lies!
Per second, I think.
Here's a good example for you. Last time I was here on the 765 Optimum, the endurance bike, I went up this road here. Now, it's a lovely viewpoint up there, but it's a rough, rocky descent as well. And do you know what? This year on the Blade, I'm alright, thanks. I'm gonna go straight down, smooth tarmac. What an amazing holiday.
Amazing.
We've done about 800 kilometres, just shy, I think. By the time we finished, about 8. No, it's not so bad, because we had 2 days of wet weather and stuff. So.
Yeah. And we didn't have any rest days despite the wet weather.
Yeah. So it's going to be something of a bike review to see what we're up to. You know what struck me? Last year you weren't here, but I came out with my 765 Optimum.
Yep.
And it struck me when I was riding here that last year I purposefully sought out the roughest of back roads. When I was planning my routes, I was like, let's go there, let's explore that, let's go and check that monastery out. This year I brought the Blade. Just because I could.
Because you could.
And you taught me into it.
I kind of did. And what do you think? How's it been?
It's been an absolute privilege to ride it.
Yeah.
Like a £10,000 road bike in Mallorca, I mean, like, it's a dream, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If everyone's watching this, you couldn't really pass up the opportunity.
No.
And I've been riding it around like an absolute lunatic.
You have, yeah, you have.
and basking in the amount of people that have said nice bike to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had the thing the other day, didn't we? A guy in a car slowed down.
I completely doled out Aldi, you know, black windows and everything else, pulled up, wound his windows down, let out the window, said, nice bike, where did you get it? I'm like, I don't know.
Built it, actually.
Yeah. You know what's really striking, actually? This is a really pretty boring bike to look at. It's plain black, it's got an Altegro group set on it. It is really nothing special to look at unless you know.
Unless you know, and that was sort of reflected on day one when we were here.
Yeah.
And my bike got all the attention on day one. Nobody gave yours a second look the first day we were here, did they?
Yeah.
I got all of the attention. Well, the time got all of the attention.
Yeah, mostly because that amazing colour.
Well, you can see why in the sun, absolutely.
Which in the sunshine, that pink is like, wow.
Popping.
Only a few people knew that it was a time though. You're getting a lot of kudos for the colour, and only a few people were like, oh, it's a time. Yeah.
But when they knew, and we had a good discussion about time bikes and how they're made and why they're so good.
Yeah, you've had some really in-depth conversations with random Germans on climbs.
That's very true. Mostly because I've been overtaking them, just saying.
I think you've even sold a couple, haven't you?
I have, yep.
Which is amazing. So just getting back to the blade ever so slightly, I would never normally ride this gear ratio back home. Ever.
No.
This is a 36-52, 10 through to 30, and I never ran out of gears here. No. Back home, I would not be able to get that hard not pass.
No way, no way. All. And how was it? Because you usually run a 1x at home.
It's taken me a little while to retune to. I mean, I ride a lot of bikes, test riding and everything else, but there's been definitely some times when I've been a tired brain that I've forgotten that I've got 2 rings at the front. But other than that, it's
good
fine.
Good choice out here?
Yeah, out here I think it is.
Yeah.
It's bombing along and you're in a big peloton is about the only time that I think I can spin out that type of gear. I mean, I was going to ask you because this is probably the one occasion in our riding lives where you might wish for a 2x. But
yeah, rarely, but there has been a few occasions this week when I've sort of spun out in a peloton, and that's been me.
Yeah.
And that's been all right. I'm okay with that. But yeah.
But it's probably lasted 5 minutes, if that, before the peloton slowed down a bit. And we've been doing some pretty big speeds, 42, 45 kph along the flats and stuff. So
which for me that's not normally how I ride at all.
No.
Like,
you'd never do that.
No, I would never ever do that at home, and I'm glad happily.
Yeah. Back home, we've either hit a pothole, a corner, a car, or a hill by that time.
You're usually going uphill. And there have been a couple of because the climbs are so lovely here, having, I don't know, a little bit more variety of gears may have been a nice luxury going uphill. I've had to work maybe a little bit harder, but I'm okay with that. I've been absolutely fine with that, and generally those nice 4 or 5% gradients have suited my gear ratios really well.
Yeah.
So I've been a happy girl because I'm not into going all fast on the flats all the time. So
we're so conditioned to a good cadence, aren't we, from what we do in the turbo training studio, that changing the cadence is absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple of other weird little things. These wheels are still bothering me. I don't know what to think about them.
How have you found those this week? For the audience, I know.
I mean, they're super stiff. Like, you can put your foot down and they just go. They just flick and they're away. And you can lean into them and you can stand out the pedal and you can crank and nothing on that bike moves. Like, the handlebars are dead rigid. The whole thing is just rigid, and the wheels just respond. I had a puncture. I've had 2 punctures on my front wheel. Yeah. And they're not easy to remove tyres from. I haven't found a single tyre combination that works easily with those. And on those sort of mountain roads with like the sea wind, etc., they catch the wind more than their depth would suggest. Like, I normally ride my 55s quite happily on windy days, and it's weird, these are only 47, they don't actually look that deep.
No, they don't.
And yet I've felt them like just catch every now and then. It's like driving a van on a motorway, you get used to it, you recondition, but it's been noticeable because I think, I'm riding some 50s or 60s, and they're not. They're only.
That's interesting. I've only noticed it a couple of times today, and it is a bit. We are where we're riding. It's a little bit exposed today.
So I don't think the aerodynamics on this are probably what they should be.
Okay.
In all honesty, but they are beautiful. Like. I tell you what I have noticed about you riding your time. You are rapid on the descents on that.
Yes. Correct.
You just found a whole new level of confidence.
I did. Yeah, I did. It's the time magic, isn't it? The stiffness just gives back. And I had some top tips from our friend John Paul Jones on my position on the bike and what to do. And I'm flying downhill, and it's great. I've loved every single descent that we've done. It's been insane. You just lean into it and it sticks. Yeah, I've PR'd everything unintentionally. I haven't even been trying. I've just been enjoying myself, and I've only been here once before, and I'm streets ahead of where I was before, and that's all down to this bike. It's absolutely insane.
And we've done some long days cruising the flats as well, and that's normally where I feel the vibrations on this a little bit and
fine.
stuff. But it's super smooth to ride, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I have no complaints at all. Like I'm even riding today, and I went back to bed after breakfast to have a sleep because I am so tired. There is nothing left in my legs at all, nothing. And I'm still happy to get on this bike and ride it.
Yeah.
And that says something, I think.
makes you smile, doesn't it?
Definitely.
It's something about these sort of bikes when they just hook up and they just work and they just respond and they're lovely and they're cruisy and you can lean into a corner and they take you where you want. There's no like nervousness or judginess about them at all. They just feel like they're just got you. They just feel like they're super solid.
Yeah, I do feel very lucky to have this bike out here. I really do.
So one part of this was I still need to review the 785 for our audience, and I thought I was going to be doing it out here. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't actually, because it's not the right bike for out here. That 785. It's that 785 I think is going to suit the Lake District much more.
Okay.
Because it's
That's good.
steep hills, steep descents. Yeah, that's proper. The hills out here are lovely and they're big, but they're not steep.
No.
No, like the 785 is really designed for. So I think I've done the right thing by bringing this out, giving this a really good road test and really getting to grips of what a race bike can do in its proper natural European smooth road environment.
Yeah.
And we'll get the 785 out for a proper test on Lake District, steep proper mountain,
steep climbs.
In fact, someone in our audience said it's is a mountain bike for the road? I'm like, yeah, it might be.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
Watch this space.
Absolutely.
Cool. I hope you've enjoyed this video of me and Vic just talking through our experience with these two very, very lovely bikes. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, which might be back in the UK
Without this beautiful weather.